And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I'm back to finish off the tier list series. So today we're going to be talking about primary position centers in NBA 2K21 My Team and ranking maybe not all of them, but a very vast majority of them. So before we get started, let's get some parameters out of the way. S tier, best cards in the game. Pretty much both gens, multiple play styles. They will help your team if you use these guys. They're just going to be the most elite options. There's not really too much wrong with them. And if there is, I'll mention it. But for the most part, I think they're better than A tier guys. A tier guys, right up there with S tier, but maybe there's just one issue that keeps them out of S tier for whatever reason. B tier, incredibly good cards that majority of the player base are going to be using some of these guys. For certain playstyles, some of the B tier guys might even belong in A tier and vice versa. It just kind of depends. Though I'll do my best to explain why they're in B tier and for what reasons. What are the negatives that put them in B tier as opposed to A tier? C tier cards, very usable centers in NBA 2K21 My Team, but for the most part you can do better using the B tier guys. But some of the guys in C tier, like I said with A tier, you might even think they're B tier. It just kind of depends. D tier. Outdated cards for the most part are going to be in here, or cards that are specialist cards and just do a couple things. F tier. Guys that aren't completely trash, they do have a couple uses, but for the most part, you should probably use the D tier guys. And trash tier, guys that no matter what, you should probably not be using. Let's be real. So, let's get underway. By the way, I do rank primary position only, so no power forward / center, so guys like Garnett and Tim Duncan, who mainly play at the center position for a majority of teams, will be over at the power forward tier list that I dropped yesterday. And also, like I said, I try to rank for both gens, multiple play styles, without my own personal play style biased. Just put out the most comprehensive list possible. So let me know down in the comments at the end what you think. So Jared Sullinger, I would put Sullinger like in D tier. Yeah, he's just that little bit small. I don't think he's, with some of the cards that we're going to see popping up in C tier, I don't think he ranks close to some of those guys. So for now, I'm probably going to put him in D tier. Excellent offensive card. He's not the greatest rebounder. I mean, he's only 6'9", and badge count wise is just getting a little outdated, but he's still super solid. Aaron Baines. I think Aaron Baines is actually slightly better than Sullinger. I'd probably put him at like low C tier, whereas Sullinger would be like higher D tier. If I had to choose between the two, like I would definitely use Aaron Baines over Jared Sullinger 10 out of 10 times, just because Aaron Baines is that little bit better at the center position. We're talking power forward, I'd probably use Sullinger, but yeah. Mel Daniels. I would put him like low-ish B tier. That would make sense. Like, he's definitely better than Aaron Baines, so I can't put them on the same tier. Even though, you know, obviously I rank them within each tier as well. So number one B tier guy will obviously be significantly better than the last B tier guy, but still, even then, like, I don't think those two are comparable at all. Daniel Theus. Look, if you took the time to Evo Daniel Theus, that's cool, but like I don't even think he's on Jared Sullinger's level. Alonzo Mourning. I mean, he's an excellent defensive card. I would put him in D tier, honestly. Like, he's an excellent defensive card. He doesn't bring really anything on offense, but his defense is some of the best in the game for the center position. So, for that reason, I'd probably put him in D. Alvin Adams. I would put Alvin Adams in C tier. I'm going to drop Aaron Baines. Yeah, I'm going to drop Aaron Baines. He's good, but I think he makes more sense in D tier. Alvin Adams is just significantly better than him. Same with Amari Stoudemire. Like, Amari Stoudemire is also significantly better than those guys. Andrea Bargiani. He's 7 foot tall, and if you badge him up fully, he's probably still D tier. I don't really think anything changes if you give him, like, gold clamps and a few other defensive badges, but he blocks a lot of shots. He shoots well from outside. He's got Hall of Fame range and stuff. Pretty okay release. I think this kind of makes sense. He's probably the card I would use out of all of these guys in D tier as of right now. Andrew Bogut. I don't like Andrew Bogut, but just like Alonzo Mourning, like, Alonzo Mourning can shoot the three, he's just got kind of a bad release. Andrew Bogut can't really shoot the three. I mean, he can a little bit, but he is an excellent defender or rebounder. For that reason, I'd put him ahead of Theus. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is just outdated, but he's still AD. I would put him in C tier. I don't think he's quite B tier anymore at this point. Would I use him over Stoudemire? No, I'd probably use Stoudemire over him at this point, just for badge reasons. This AD fan favorites, I would put him at A tier. If he could move a little bit better, I think he'd be S tier, no question, but I think he does have issues with movement. he's still a really good card. Like, this card moves well, but when this card came out, no big men could really move besides, like, Pink Diamond, Blake Griffin. So he's kind of, like, in the same boat as, like, PD Blake Griffin, or even, like, the newer Blake Griffin. Like, so many cards come out that can do all this stuff now that Anthony Davis isn't remotely as special as he once was because of that reason. So, Antonio Davis is garbage, trash. I would use Daniel Tice. Like I said Theus before, but Daniel Tice, like, 10 out of 10 times. I don't like that card. Art Gilmore. I like Art Gilmore, so for me, I'd probably put him in D tier, but overall, I'd put him, like, an F. Like, realistically, all he brings you is rim attacking, especially since they nerfed post hooks. Like, if they didn't nerf post hooks, I'd definitely put him in D. But he really can't do anything since they nerfed that. Like, post moves were integral for Art Gilmore and players like him. So when they went through and nerfed all that stuff, it killed traditional centers in my team. Arvidas Sabonis. Sabonis is still good. He's a little bit slow, but he's so big that it doesn't really matter. And over on next gen, speed means nothing anyway. It's all about height, so Arvidas can move just fine. Bam Adebayo. Maybe I'm overhyping Bam here, but I do think he's A tier. Like, he's really good. Like, he's just a slightly worse version of Invincible Bill Russell. That's basically all he is. He's a beast. Defensively, he is that little bit small. Or if you want to go, like, in a different comparison, he's like a better version of... He's like a 99 version of Bob McAdoo. Out of position Ben Simmons. I would put him in B tier. He's very similar since the update to the point guard Ben Simmons, but people kind of forget that the reason the point guard Ben Simmons is so good is not because he's Ben Simmons or because of his badge count or because of his jumper. Some people like it, but that's not really. It's because he plays point guard. That's why he's so valuable. So when you lose that, this card is a beast at small forward, but at the center position, I mean, I would probably still use him at the center over, like, Anthony Davis, possibly Amari Stoudemire, possibly Alvin Adams, just because of his size, but his rebounding stats and badges are great, but he just refuses to rebound the ball. I don't understand what it is. His tendencies are all cracked out, too, so I just do not get it. But if you've played with this card, you know he, like, will not rebound the ball for some reason. I don't get it. I'd use him over Mel Daniels, though. Ben Wallace, once again, this hurts me, but he's 6'9" and cannot shoot the ball. I would use Jared Sullinger over him. But, man, I hope we get another small forward Ben Wallace like we got last year that can shoot, because that card was a monster. Bill Laimbeer. I don't like this card, so he's going to end up being like the bottom of C tier. But he's arguably better than all the D tier guys, so I'd put him like right here. I'd probably still use Anthony Davis over him, but that's just for my play style. Bill Russell. Bill Russell cannot shoot at all, so I'd probably put him in D tier. Like, realistically, I would use all the guys in C tier over him, so he's going to end up being one of the best cards in D tier. This Bill Russell, on the other hand, he's an invincible card. He's Bill Russell, S tier. No question, he's a beast. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this card, aside from the fact that at 6'9", he's a little small to play the center, but when it comes to stats and badges and stuff, it really doesn't matter. He's going to lock down anybody. It's not an issue whatsoever. This is the best center in the game. It's no question. Big Shaq Diesel. I would use Big Shaq Diesel over Ben Simmons, like at the center position. Like I said, small forward, Ben Simmons is a beast, but Shaq is much better at the center position, even with his kind of trash jump shot. It is what it is. Bill Walton, same thing as Art Gilmore. Yeah. But I'd put him behind Tice. Bill Walton's a mountain of a man, but he's just not good. Bismack Biyombo, I mean, he's better than Antonio Davis because he's a lockdown defender, but that's about all you're getting from him. He's worse Ben Wallace, basically. Bob Lanier. If he has shooting badges, yeah, he's better than Bill Russell, though. He is. So I'll put him here. I would use him over Bill Laimbeer. Nah, I wouldn't. I'd put him right there. Bob McAdoo. Not quite C tier. I'd put him like high D tier with Bill Russell. He's just like a budget Giannis, basically. That's kind of how he used to play. And honestly, with the amount of centers that can do everything, it's just not really a viable strategy anymore. Bull. I know I'm going to get people upset when I put Bull in B tier. But the realistic sense is he plays significantly better at the power forward, so you have to take that into consideration. Number 2, just like Ben Simmons, he is not a good rebounder at all. He has a small player build. He's huge, don't get me wrong, but he's super skinny. He's going to get bodied by someone like Shaq. Both rebounding in the post. If somebody's a talented post scorer, like Bull is going to get killed. He does block a lot of shots. He can Curry slide around. He has a good three-pointer for sure. But he's going to end up being probably the best card in B tier. There's no question about it. And I might even move him up to A at some point. But there is enough negative with the card, and there are enough things wrong with him that I don't think he deserves to go to A tier. Like, I don't think he's as good as Bam or Anthony Davis as a whole. For certain players, yes. But as a whole, no. And he's definitely not Bill Russell level. Brad Daugherty. I would use him over Bismack, but he's still trash. Like, he's a worse version of what Bill Walton and Art Gilmore are going to bring you. Brook Lopez. I mean, he's a 3-and-D center. I'd put him D. All things considered, I mean, he's pretty good, but his time has passed. Man, allergies are killing me. Bryant Reeves, he's the best card in trash tier. I don't know what you want from me. Give me a new Bryant Reeves card to review, please, because I'm tired of seeing my man down here in trash tier. Carlos Boozer. I mean, yeah, where's Jared Sullinger and Aaron Baines? He's like over here somewhere. He's not good, but he's not like F tier, because he can at least shoot. These guys really can't shoot. Daniel Tice can shoot, but there's just something about him. He's just not good. Charles Oakley. Oakley's good. I put him in C tier. He's still more than usable. Like, just like Bull, he plays better at power forward, but he's significantly better than all the D tier guys because of his shooting ability. Bosch. Yeah, Bosch is like not good. Granted, he can shoot. He has a low badge count. He misses so many whites. Like, it is absurd how many whites this card misses, and I don't understand it whatsoever, but it happens. I mean, can I say for certain he's like significantly worse than some of the guys in D tier? No, right? I can't. That's tough. Yeah, I mean, I'd put him in D. Like, yeah, he's better than the F tier guys altogether. Chris Kaman I'd put in D as well by Bargiani, probably. He's not good, but he deserves that. Christian Wood, no question B tier. I would probably use Christian Wood over Shaq, Ben Simmons, and Mel Daniels. Bul's a toss-up. I probably use Christian Wood over him, but Bol is a B, so I'll put Christian Wood behind him. I hate Clint Capella. He's small, man. He gets out-rebounded by everybody. His whole thing is defense. He doesn't even play like good defense at all. It's not really his fault necessarily. Like, 2K did him dirty with this card. Dave Cowens. I mean, Dave Cowens is going to go by, like, Brook Lopez and more like Boozer and Sullinger, probably. Really outdated, but still fun. Chris Boucher, one of the best cards in D tier, no question. I'd use him over Bob McAdoo, but I don't think he's C tier material. Dave Cowens, probably the worst card in B tier, but I'd use him over all the C tier guys. Like, he's like a better Alvin Adams. Excellent defender, or a worse Bam Adebayo, depending how you want to look at it. David Robinson, I think he's still A tier. He is. Like, I think so anyway. He does need some badge additions, but once he gets those, I mean, he's a beast. Like, no question. I don't know. You could argue him and Bull straight swap, but I think altogether David Robinson is a better card because of his defensive and rebounding abilities, while still being able to shoot at a high clip and handle the ball still. So I think he's altogether better. He's the worst card in A tier for sure, but that's how I feel. David West. I mean, yeah, C tier. I don't know. David West is tough, man, because I actually like the card, but he has a lot of flaws. I would put him in C tier. I think Dave Cowens is better than him for sure. I can say that with utmost confidence. So, Ayton, where's my outdated diamond, guys? Yeah, he's like down here in D. We need a new DeAndre Ayton card ASAP. Kareem, yeah, B tier. I think he's B tier at this point. Excellent defender. He moves pretty well. If he could shoot better, that'd be ideal. I mean, obviously, if you have like Phil Jackson, you'll be fine, but I still think David Robinson's overall, within the parameters, better. But for certain people, Kareem's going to be the ideal center. D-Cuz, yeah, I'd put D-Cuz like in C tier somewhere. Probably like around Bill Laimbeer area. Still good, but definitely outdated. Big Dirk. Best card in C tier, but I don't think he's good enough to be in B tier anymore. And once you see all the cards that go into B tier, I think you'll agree as well. Sabonis, one of the better cards in D tier, but I don't think he's as good as the C tier guys. This Sabonis is C tier, though. Put him by his dad, the Saboni. Together again. Dwight Howard, post-scoring centers are over. F. Same with this one. On the other end of F, but yeah. Eddie Curry. Can I say with confidence that Eddie Curry is better than Dirk Nowitzki? Yeah, no, I can't. So I'm going to put him in C tier. I can't say without a doubt he's better. I personally think he might be at the center position just because he's a better rebounder, and I like him how he handles the ball. He makes a lot more whites and stuff, but overall, I can't say he's better than Dirk, so I'll put him in C tier for now. Enes Kanter, I mean, he's pretty bad, but yeah, where's Bogut? He's a good defender. He can shoot. He can attack the rim. He's just not all that good. George Mikan, I'd put him around Shaq area. His jump shot is kind of hard to hit, and he is missing some badges. He's only 6'10". I say only. I'm 6'1". Why am I saying that about an NBA player? But he also does wear high socks. That's key. I'd put him like in the middle of B tier somewhere. He's good and very usable, especially for a free card, but not much else. Giannis by Ben Simmons. I think he's better than Ben Simmons at the center position, personally. Giannis is still a beast. For certain players, he's going to be up towards the top of B tier with Bull. I definitely don't think he's A tier, though. But, like, there is a gap between, like, where Ben Simmons ends and Mel Daniels and Dave Cowens begin. Hopefully I get enough cards to fill that out, or else I'll drop these two to C tier. Simbular, I'd put Simbular in D tier. Like, my rationale is I don't think he's as good as any of the cards in C tier. But he's 7'5", can shoot the three. Also, he's not the fat player build I like. Greg Oden. Where's Andrew Bogut? Like, Greg Oden's not good. He can shoot, but they give him no shooting badges and no hot zones, so. Hakeem, I would throw him on the... He's still better than Lambeer with his jump shot. I would throw the Hakeem right there. Pink Diamond, Hakeem in C tier as well. Like, both of them deserve to go right next to each other. They're both really good. I honestly would probably use them, actually, over, like, Oakley. Yeah. And, like, David West and DeMarcus and stuff. This Bam Adebayo, he's super outdated. He can still shoot and stuff. I put him in D tier. Hassan Whiteside, as much as I like this card for certain things, like, he's definitely trash, for sure. Like, if we're talking competitive-wise, I would use all the guys in F tier over him. No question. Isaiah Hartenstein, I hate this card so much. He's just not good, but objectively, he's better than some of these guys in F tier. Jack Sigma, Chris Kaman level. I think he's like, I'd probably use Bargiani and Sabonis over him, but he's not bad. James Donaldson, he's so good defensively that I'm going to put him in D tier. Like, I would use him over Greg Oden, even though Oden can shoot better. I'd use him over Kanter and Boozer, too. Like, Donaldson's good. He just can't shoot. That's it. But he is one of the best rebounding cards in this game. He blocks a lot of shots. He moves pretty well as well, so I'd use him. James Wiseman, I don't like this, but I can't deny that he's just way better Bull. Like, that's what he is, basically. He can Curry slide all over the place. He's fast. He dunks. He shoots. He has a good jump shot. I think he's Curry based this year. It's just stupid how good this card is, and I hate it so much. Like, I truly do. Like, I despise how good this card is because he shouldn't be this cracked out, but he is. I would use him over all the A tier guys, no question. Jaron Jackson Jr., I really do think he's still good enough to be B tier. I would use him over Mel Daniels and Dave Cowens still to this day. And I know you might be thinking, like, dude, for real, you'd use Jaron Jackson over Dirk? Yeah, Jaron Jackson is significantly more well-rounded and can play the center position better, which is why I have him ranked ahead of Dirk. Dirk does not play the center position very well, especially at this point. Plus, they've nerfed Dirk to death. They really haven't nerfed Jaron Jackson that much. Jared Allen, I mean, F, I guess. He moves pretty well. Yeah, I mean, D, I guess. Yeah. JaVale McGee. JaVale's a beast. I would definitely use him over a lot of these cards. He needs shooting badges for sure, but he's like a budget Wilt, kind of. But there's a more complete budget Wilt that we'll talk about later. Jackson Hayes, he's budget Kareem, so I'd probably use him C tier. Yeah. I wish he could shoot better. Just like Kareem, he can't shoot, but everything else is chef's kiss. Very good. But at the same time, I don't know why I did. I'm not Chef Boyardee, dude. I don't know. Why Chef Boyardee? Out of all the chefs in the world, why did my head go to Chef Boyardee? I don't know. I'm blasted. Leave me alone. Jermaine O'Neal. I hate this Jermaine O'Neal card, but he's definitely too good to be in D tier. So I'll put him like at the bottom of C. I can't disrespect my boy Jermaine O'Neal like that. I watched Malice at the Palace live. I watched him slide punch that guy into oblivion. always respect for Jermaine O'Neal up in here. Kimbe Mutumbo, another controversial one, but I really do think that Kimbe is an S tier center in this game. Like, I think he's better than the 3 guys in A tier, no question. He does everything. He's not the best dribbler, but that's the only thing. Yeah, it's Kimbe Mutombo. Like, he blocks more shots than any card in this game. He's a huge mountain of a man. No. He shoots the 3 ball at a high clip with a pretty decent jump shot. Like, for whatever reason, it feels better with Kimbe than it does on George Mikan because they have the same jump shot base. Kimbe has a slightly better upper, in my opinion, but some people prefer Mikan, so I guess it really depends. But Kimbe is just a complete card. Now, depending on your playstyle, these 3 guys are going to range as to the ranking. That's why I'm not ranking these S tier guys, because it's all dependent on playstyle. Like, if you're a dribble guy, you're obviously going to prefer Wiseman. If you want more of a traditional center, you're going to prefer Kimbe. And if you want somebody to run your offense through, in more of a traditional sense, Bill Russell is going to be the way to go. So, just kind of depends. Pink Diamond, Joelle, Embiid. I mean, bottom of C tier. Embiid cards are always usable, so I would say that he's still better than a lot of the D tier guys. So for that reason, I put him bottom C tier. This Joel Embiid is really good. I'd put him around Jaron Jackson, Ben Simmons level. For a traditional center, I actually do think Joel Embiid is better than Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons is more meta. Like, he's better for that reason, so I'll put them like next to each other. But this Joel Embiid got lost because he came out the same day as Spotlight Sims, but he's still pretty good. John Collins. John Collins is a tough card to rank. This is the one card I didn't really get a chance to play with in season, was it 6? Yeah, I think so, right? Because I didn't get into Glitch Market at all, but I did mess around on friends' accounts and play with some cards, but I have not played with this card. He's 6'9". He's got a good jump shot base, so he's got Kobe release, which is solid. Great stats. There's really nothing wrong with this card. He is missing like a bunch of shooting badges. So I'd probably put him around like Domantas Sabonis level. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Domantas, Arvidas, somewhere around there. Probably like Amari Stoudemire, Anthony Davis level. Looks good though. Valanciunas, I mean, he's Isaiah Hartenstein level, so good. Like, right? That makes sense. He's a little bit more well-rounded than some of the F tier guys, so I'd put him ahead of him, but I don't like the card. Taco Fall. If badged up, he's B tier, but I do not rank cards badged up. I would say he just moves so well. I guess I can't have Kareem in B tier without Taco in B tier. Just because Taco is very similar to how Kareem plays, just like at a worse scale. So my rationale is I'm thinking of the Opal Kareem, and if Taco is better than the Opal Kareem, and I would say yes. I would say he is. He can hit from the corners, three-pointer a little bit. It's not ideal. He has 77 speed, but that really doesn't matter because he gets up and down the floor, especially with the ball in his hand. It's stupid. He has a 40 ball handle, which I think is like the real issue with this card. I'm going to keep him bottom B tier just because he has intangibles like his size and his rim attacking and his rebounding that are just unmatched by anyone in C tier, and honestly unmatched by majority of the guys in B tier, but his offensive capabilities are very limited, so I might drop him, but for now I'd keep him bottom of B tier. Julius Randle, this one's also not going to be popular, but I do generally think he's a B tier center still. Like, this card's really good. He's small, I will say that, and you could argue that some of the guys that I have up there are much better than him, but I do generally think that with his badge count, his hot zones, like his stats, I mean, this dude was like ahead of the curve as far as having like overpowered stats. Him and Danny Ferry, it's stupid. They were like the first two cracked out cards we got. I would put him in B tier. Honestly, I'd probably use him over Mel Daniels, like all things considered. Better at the power forward though. I'll say that. Dino. I'm not insane. Dino's D tier. He has the Dino player build, so that keeps him out of F. But yeah. Magic Johnson. We're talking about at the center position, and I think he's... I'd put him like right over here. Because of how good the card actually is, I think that keeps him out of the lower depths of C tier, but I don't think he's a B tier card at this point. Like, for me personally, I would use him over Taco Fall, but I can't deny that Taco Fall has intangibles that Magic just can't handle. I mean, Magic's a great point center, yes, but at the center position, he's 6'9", not that great of a rebounder. He's going to get eaten alive by guys with like Shaq or Mikan or any of that. So, especially when This card was very usable when it came out because you could speed past centers, but now when it comes to cards like Anthony Davis, Bam, Dikembe, Wiseman, Bill Russell, even guys like Bol Bol or Christian Wood, even like Mikan to a certain extent, or Ben Simmons, like you can't speed past those guys. So it's, yeah, no, not anymore. Nurkic, I would throw him like Chris Boucher levels, D tier. This Kareem, I'll put him towards the top of C tier. I think he, you know what, I can't say this Kareem is that much worse than Taco Fall, or even better, for that matter, so I'll put them next to each other. Yeah, that makes sense, because this Kareem, like, I almost don't want to put this guy so high in B tier because of his lack of shooting, and this card just shoots even worse. So, yeah, I would keep him, like, upper C tier. Like, I would use Eddie Curry and Dirk over this Kareem, personally. I would use this Kareem over Taco Fall, though, because of his speed. Karl Anthony Towns. I would use Karl Anthony Towns still. C tier. He's still good. Karl Malone. I mean, I put him over here. D tier. This Karl Malone, as much as I dislike Karl Malone, I can't deny that this card's pretty solid. Where's David West? Yeah, David West. He's like worse than David West. I'd use Jackson Hayes over these guys, though. Yeah, that looks better. Zach Randolph. He's not very good, but he's C tier. He's usable. Ilgauskas, I despise this card so much. He can shoot. He's like way better version of like Hartenstein or Valanciunas, so I'd put him in like D tier. Where's like Bogut area? He plays no defense though, but he does block shots, I guess. Kevin Durant. Although I put Magic down in C tier, this is still Durant, so I would put him up in B tier area. Though I don't like him at the center position. He rebounds the ball suspiciously well now. Like, I think that 2K must have buffed his rebounding, because when he came out, he didn't rebound the ball at all. But now he rebounds the ball at a pretty good clip. Better than Ben Simmons, which is horrendous, but it is what it is. Wilt, I'd put him like upper D tier as well. He's not quite C tier anymore. He's just not complete enough. This Kareem, I mean, I can't have Art Gilmore down here and have this Kareem up here. It's not the case. Kevin Love or Sabonis. Yeah, he's like an excellent 3 and D at D. Basically a 3-point rebounding card. Really cool free card at the time, but yeah, I mean, I'd put him in like D tier. McHale's still like low C tier. Put him by like Jackson Hayes. Yeah, still usable. Though I would probably upgrade. Kostas. I would use Kostas over all these guys. I like this card a lot. His jump shot feels like base 11 from last year. He's one of the only people that has it as well. Let me check the base real quick because I cannot remember exactly what it is, but Kostas plays way better than I suspected he was going to play. What's his jump shot? He has jump shot 35, which is the same as like Michael Adams and Drazen. Yeah, it's Drazen base and Isaac Okoro. On a big man, it feels different. Like, it feels significantly different. It feels like base 11. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand it, but I like it. I like it a lot. This Kristaps, yeah, where is Kevin Love? He's better. D. This Kristaps, dude, I hate this card so much. If you guys watch my live stream, you know I hate this card, like, with a burning passion, but he's still Kristaps. He curry slides around. He's massive. Granted, he refuses to rebound the ball. Yeah, I mean, he's up top D tier, or B tier. B tier. I apologize. I hate him, though. I despise this card, and I will sell him very soon as his price goes back up. Lamarcus Aldridge. God, he's so slow, but I can't say he's, like, worse than Enes Kanter. No, he's not. I'd put him, like, right here. Dave Cowan's area. Luka. Where's Magic Johnson? Yeah, like, right over here somewhere. He's 6'7", playing the center position. Like, it's too small. It's too small. I definitely would use Hakeem Olajuwon over him. I'd put him like around Jackson Hayes and Kevin McHale. He's an excellent point center, and he's the best Luka card in the game. That is no question about it. Like, he is the best Luka card in the game. But for triple threat, he's a monster, dude. But for regular 5v5 where he has to play his position locks, terrible. I wouldn't say terrible. He's usable. Though I would advise not using him, because if you run into somebody like this, up at the top here, he's getting killed. Thon Maker. Yeah, F. I literally would use majority of these cards in D tier, if not all of them, for any occasion over Thon Maker, just because he plays no defense and will get abused interiorly. That's not a word. Marc Gasol. Chris Boucher, Jusuf Nurkic level. I would like to get a new Marc Gasol card because he's good, but I feel like it's another one of those cases where even if we get like an updated Marc Gasol card, he's not going to be as good as he was before because he doesn't have those intangibles over the other centers anymore. This Marc Gasol I'd put like bottom D tier. Marcus Camby, he's still a defensive beast, so I would put him like over here somewhere, but definitely not a card I recommend using anymore. Mark Eaton, RIP to a legend, dude. For that, I'm putting you out towards the top of D. No, okay, I can't do that. James Donaldson is still arguably better than you, but he is a defensive beast. For blocks challenges, you look no further. Marvin Bagley, I'd put him by like Sabonis and Dino. He's not quite C tier, in my opinion. Oh, Matt Bonner is absolutely C tier. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I would use Matt Bonner over a vast majority of the cards in C tier. He is that good. Spencer Haywood. Yeah, I'd put him like over the Sabonises or Karl Anthony Towns, somewhere around like Magic Johnson and Matt Bonner. If he's badged up, he's better than Matt Bonner. If he's standard, Matt Bonner's better. Swen Nader. Yeah, you're going down here. You're bad. Michael Sweetney. Yeah, I mean, I can't say confidently he's better than Thon Maker. Yao Ming, where's my Giants at? He shoots the mid-range, so I'll put him ahead of them, both of them. But yeah, Yao Ming's not really usable anymore. Mo Bamba. I'd put Mo Bamba in D tier. Still blocks a lot of shots. He can shoot, which is better than a lot of these guys. I mean, I'd put him like ahead of like Yao Ming. This Mo Bamba, very good card. I would put him like right over here. I'd put him ahead of Spencer Haywood. This Diamond Mo Bamba is a beast. I wish he could handle the ball a little bit better, but he shoots well. He blocks shots. He's huge. Got to give him credit. Moses Malone. Yeah, if he's badged up, he's probably around here, so I put him like C tier. If he's not badged up, I'd put him closer to like Amar Stoudemire, John Collins, Anthony Davis, Hakeem area. But mine's badged up. I'd put him like over here. I'd use him over Matt Bonner for sure. Miles Turner. Turner's good. Don't think he's quite B tier, but I would use him over like a bunch of these cards. Like he's nice. I might use Alvin Adams over him, but he's a good card. Batum. I mean, same issue. Where's Magic Johnson and where are those guys at? Where's Magic? Yeah, Magic, same issue. I mean, he's great at point guard, but at center he's going to get abused. But he does bring a lot of spark to the offense, especially as like a point center. But I wouldn't run it. This D-Cuz, I'd put him closer to the bottom of C tier. The other DeMarcus Cousins is much better defensively. That being said, this card is still so well-rounded. I think he's better than the cards in D tier. Jokic, towards the top of C tier. I personally would use Eddie Curry over him, but I'm insane. So maybe Eddie Curry's a little better than Jokic, but he's still at the top of C tier. Vucevic, I'm not saying that right. I hate Vucevic so much because he's on the Bulls, but I would put him like Jackson Hayes area. He can shoot the open jumper, which is nice. He can't handle the ball at all, but he plays pretty decent defense. If he was a little bigger, I think he'd be more effective. But he's decent. I'd put him like mid to low C tier. Big Pat. I hate this card so much. The Amethyst would go right here too. No, I can't disrespect Patrick Ewing like that. Alonzo Mourning area of D tier. This one is probably not going to be very popular either, but I think this Patrick Ewing legitimately belongs in B tier. For the center position, he is an elite option for his price point. No question about it. Pau Gasol. Yeah, I mean, Pau's pretty decent, but he's definitely a little outdated. Put him like mid C tier. Precious, I put him low C tier. I think he's good. I think he's better than Bagley and Dino, and I probably would use him over Bill Russell, Wilt, Boucher, Marc Gasol, so that's kind of how I'm basing it. Ralph Sampson, I don't like this card, but he's not D tier. Like he's definitely better than Anthony Davis, like the Opal for sure, right? Yeah, I put him by Arvidas Sabonis. Yeah, he's not good. You should never have locked in for him if you did, but he's not the worst card in the world. Mid C tier would be, it'd be ideal. Rick Smits, I put him towards the top of D tier. Oh boy, Rick Smits is tight. He can hit the mid range at a high clip, and he moves pretty well. So I would use him over guys like James Donaldson or Mark Eaton or even Yao Ming. So I'd put him higher than those guys, honestly. Like I can't say for certain Marvin Bagley and Dino are better than him. Put him right there. Robert Parrish, he's good defensively, but that's it. And he's very good defensively, so that keeps him at F. Robert Williams, I do not like this card. Rudy Gobert, I mean, he's not terrible. Like, right there. He's better than Mo Bamba. This Rudy Gobert, not good, but still good enough to not be in trash. Ryan Hollins has just updated Hassan Whiteside, so right there. Serge Ibaka, I think, does deserve to be in B tier. Granted, yeah, Serge is good. He's an excellent 3-and-D center. Great interior defender. He's going to block a lot of shots. He is only 6'10", but just like Mikan, it's not the biggest deal in the world. He has a good jump shot. Not really much you'd want from this card. He's just not the best ball handler. But the reason he has issues is mainly because of that. And if you can live without that, he's definitely better than all the guys in C tier for what he brings you. Especially his badge count. Big Shaq. Yeah, no. Post scoring's over. There's nothing I could do. And it is what it is. This Diesel, I would probably throw right there. Bottom C tier. He's still usable, especially for like offline based challenges. And then the other one's basically the same, so I'd put him like right here. A little more athletic, but Deandre Jordan. This one's tough for me. And the reason for that is I think this is not... He's good enough to be B tier. Like, he really is. He's basically a budget Wilt. And he has like 40-plus Hoff badges. He's a beast. He blocks shots. He moves well. He's huge, big, stocky player build. Wilt's jump shot, which isn't the best, but it's usable. I think B tier makes sense for him. Steven Adams. Good enough defensively. Keeps him out of trash. Same with Tyson Chandler. Granted, he's not very good. I'd put him like towards the bottom. This card's awful. I put Thon over Steven Adams just to prove a point. Vlade Deep, yeah. Where's Isaiah Hartenstein and Valanciunas? Wayne Embry. Where is Bob McAdoo area of D tier. D tier and C tier were going to be heavily populated this time. Wendell Carter. Yeah, I mean, I don't think... Where's Mo Bamba? He's like pretty good. Put him like D tier. Wes Unseld, this one hurts, but Wes Unseld is C tier. Especially at the center position, man. He's way too little to be playing the center position. He's 6'7". Just like Luka. You know what? I can't even say for certain that he's really that much worse than like Magic. I put him like around Magic level. Magic and Batum. I'd probably use Wes Unseld myself, just because I'm more familiar with him, but I can't say for certain if he's like better. And finally, Wilt Chamberlain. Now, once again, I think people aren't going to agree with this, but I think Big Wilt is A tier. He just has so many intangibles, like his player build. He attacks the rim at a super high clip. He dunks over everybody. His jump shot is weird, but once you get the hang of it, it's so good. For me anyway, like, that's a personal opinion. Like, I love his jump shot now because I've been using him for so long that I'm really green with it. But he just brings so much to the table that I just don't think there's any way you can really keep him out of A tier. I think he is generally better than all of the cards in B tier overall. Like, I really do. So we have a lot of cards in C tier, and I do generally think that the divide between B and C tier makes sense. Like, I actually believe that. I think the guys in C tier make sense for C tier, and the guys in B tier make sense for B tier. For certain playstyles, you might move like guys like Dirk or Eddie Curry up to B tier. Same with like Jokic. I think Jokic is still necessarily... Yeah, he's still good to be up there. Badged out Moses Malone, you can even move up there. Miles Turner. Obviously, like Batum, if this was a point guard tier list, he'd be in like A tier, but this is a center tier list. Same with Magic, obviously. Even if it was power forward tier list, I think Magic would be in like B tier, but it's a center tier list. Like, I cannot have... Batum as a center is not a B tier center. That is simple. Like, it's just... That's the case. Like, it's not even argumentative. Like, Batum is not... I don't even know what words I just said. Batum is not good at the center position. Let me just say it simply. And for that reason, I got him in C tier. So let me know what you think of the list down below. I'll be back with the squad tip series later. Other than that, check out the rest of my tier list videos if you haven't already. I've dropped all of them in the last few days. And check the description for my stuff. I'll have the power forward tier list video linked at the end of this video. So check that out. Also, I did a pack opening today if you want to see that. So it is what it is. Peace out, everybody.